everyone, it's Homebrew coming at you with a homebrew review. It was just a beautiful morning here. It's cooling down now with some wind, but my wife and I got out on a bike ride. We've been doing a little more of that, and beautiful trail called the Vernonia Banks Trail, and through some riding bikes through the country. It was wonderful. So here we go. I've got another beer from Karl Oppenheimer. Long overdue this review. This is a bourbon stout. It's a bourbon coffee stout, 13%. You know, barley wines, stouts, that's always my wheelhouse. And a little bourbon on there never hurts. So let's get it cracked open. Definitely, this is my original wheelhouse right here. This type of beer. Going all in. Yeah, not much head, but look. Now I see it starting to rise up. All right, it's starting to form a ring. I can see fine bubbles rising up. Hope you can too. But look at that. That's just black. That's just really, really deep brown color. It's really pretty. I'm gonna get a nose. Might be a little cold yet. Nah, it's not too cold. Man, it's just immediately, immediately, I'm getting that coffee. I'm getting really rich roast. I can smell the bourbon on there. Almost felt like it had a little bit of a vanilla quality as well. Yeah, to me, I don't know why it strikes me that way. He may have vanilla in it for all I know, but it smelled like it had some vanilla quality along with that coffee and the bourbon. You know, there's some just beautiful dark chocolate type quality to it as well that comes off the nose. I'm not pulling a lot more. There might be some, I might have just gotten a hair of some like fruit. You know, I might be crazy, I might be wrong, but I feel like I get a little bit of a cherry-esque, you know, dark cherry type quality on it. Maybe, yeah, anyway, with a hint of tart even maybe. I'm probably full of it, but, and that's probably just all coming off the coffee itself. That type of nose along with it, but I'm gonna dive on in. Cheers. No, I don't think I'm full of it. I will be. It tastes largely just like the nose, but I still do feel like I get some like berry or cherry type quality coming off of it as well, which is really fun. Okay, so for those that are familiar, the style on this, what this reminds me of, it reminds me of Hop and Frog, like Boris and Doris style beers, for those that are familiar with that. And what I mean by that, there's a nice sweetness. It's not real strong, but there's a good sweetness to it to balance everything out. But it's a very dark roast with some chocolate quality, but it's all on this really deep black, dark hole abyss type size. And when I say abyss, I'm not comparing it to Deschutes abyss. That's a different thing. But just the darkness to it, the richness to it, with almost a slight burnt edge quality to it. And I assume that's all coming from the grain. And then you're adding in some of that bourbon. And the way it comes across is like almost like a sweet bourbon flavor. He didn't attenuate it down too low, so there's plenty of sweetness left, and less so in the taste as in the nose, but you can still get hints of what almost feel like a vanilla-ish type quality. There's just, you know, a bit of a hint of a molasses type quality on it as well. Still saying with the coffee flavor, I don't know what kind of coffee this was, that I still feel like I get like a can't remember if he aged this in an oak barrel or not. I almost feel like I get a cherry wood type of a feel off of this, which is just very, very intriguing. It's kind of fun. It reminds me just also a tad of Palo Santo Marron, which used this unique wood. I can't remember the details, but because we had a local guy that brewed that once, and there's just something about this the sweet flavor and this like wood type quality I'm getting that it reminds me of that. Oh, really, really fun, really fascinating beer. I thought it was going to be just really kind of, this is the flavors, this is it. It was going to be flat. There would be no complexity, but there's actually some complexity to this. And it's starting to warm a little, and that sweetness with almost a vanilla-esque or sweet bourbon with some oak type quality or some kind of woodish type quality is coming through more. I can't remember what all Karl did with this. So Karl, you're going to have to write some notes for me. But that's what I'm pulling off of it. And it may just be my imagination, but I'll be coming from the coffee and whatever the coffee berries did with this. But it's just playing really interesting and creating a fun complexity. Not many places make a beer with this kind of taste, that Palo Santo Moran. I know that ABV here locally made one that was styled after that once, and it was a fun beer. Didn't do it as good as Dogfish Head, but it was really nice. I actually like yours better than the one that ABV did here locally, which is my local watering hole / also it's connected to Main Brew, which is also my local homebrew shop. Good people there, Kevin, the whole team. Love the guys over there. I should be naming them all, but Steve has done a lot of the brewing for them, and he's a great guy. And then John helps me more often, shaggy beard guy. The owner, Kevin, who's a good guy. And then Lynn is over there filling the cups and pointing me at good beers on the shelf. A great crew of people over there. I do appreciate them so much. But they would love to taste this, because I think that you beat them, that your Palo Santo Moran type style is better than theirs. So Karl, hats off to you. That's really good. I'll come back in a minute. I'm going to enjoy this and let it warm up a little. I'm thoroughly enjoying this, Karl. Some things that I hadn't mentioned. So it has a medium full mouthfeel. Well done there, because that's often very hard for homebrewers to achieve, is a full mouthfeel. And as it warms, it's actually the full. When things are cold, they can feel thinner, but it's a full mouthfeel, which is fantastic that you actually accomplish that. That's great. The carbonation is very soft, but it's there. It's not flat. It's just a very soft carbonation. Again, hats off to you, because that's exactly what you want in a beer like this. In fact, now it's getting on the slightly to the syrupy side, I would say. That's really telltale, because to be really honest with you, you're going to hate getting all this praise from me because you're wanting to improve. But that type of mouthfeel is what people look for off commercial beers and are so often disappointed. Well, you can tell, because I'm not a good poker player. You can tell from my face that, yeah, you did it. You hit that commercial level on the mouthfeel and the carbonation. You hit the dark, rich quality without getting bitter. It didn't become bitter, and you kept sweetness. It's not oversweet. It really balances the whole thing out. The coffee works nicely. I think you balance the coffee nice because it's not overwhelming. We don't have any bitterness from the coffee whatsoever. We don't have any bitterness from like black patent malts or something like that. None of that's there. And I have a sweet tooth, so I can go way sweeter. But for most people, this is going to be just great for them. For me, I can always go sweeter, but I'm loving it. It's just very well balanced. To be really honest, I only wish that I had Christian here, or better yet, I had Josh here, Josh Hoover or SJ Port here, to be drinking this beer with me, to try it with me, because they would be probably giving you more compliments than I am, because I am tougher. I don't feel like I'm being tough at all. I'm starting to get a little bit of a viscous quality as it keeps warming, which means absolutely full mouthfeel. So, when we do get together, if you have another bottle you want to drop on me, yeah, I'd be just fine with that. And And I think you could teach me a few things. Actually, I need to start getting into, I hate saying it, but I think I'm going to start working on water chemistry. Gotta go there. Because I can't keep up with young bucks like you otherwise, I just can't do it. And I'd love to talk to you about that. But Karl, you have made just a fantastic beer. I'm glad that, it's not too big. It's only 13% ABV. I can handle that. Not on a diet, maybe. Hats off. Thank you so much. This is a great beer. Folks, man, if you can brew something like Karl did here, you're doing just great. And I look forward to seeing what Karl could do in the future. You're a great brewer. This is Kevin Clements Homebrew saying life's too short to drink cheap beer. But better yet, man, get someone like Karl to send you some fantastic beer. Enjoy the fruits of their labor. Cheers, everyone.